Hi there folks, and welcome back to the next episode of Solar City Garage. We're still on our Model T motor here, and in the last video I showed you what we did to these two valve seats. This is the one we put the guide in, and this one here was normal. They've all been reamed to the first oversized. Now we're going to touch up the seats, and the other six are all identical, so let's get at it. We're going to use a Quickway, part of a Quickway system to do valve seats. We're going to use a stone. I've had this, in fact this was my grandfather's, this attachment here that goes in a drill. When I was a kid we used to use it in an air drill, and it has a rubber flex coupling in it, and it has a stone on that I did on the stone dresser, so that it's got a fresh surface on it and it's accurate. Don't know what a stone dresser is. I'll show you what a Quickway one looks like. Better back that out a little bit so you can see it. We'll get you, there we go. That's what a Quickway stone dresser is. It's got the same pilot on here. Has a diamond tip cutter. You set your angle here, and then you pull this down while the stone is rotating, and it cuts that angle on the stone. These are very expensive, and this came along with the Quickway machine, but you can still buy these from Goodson in Winona, Minnesota. Very expensive, but when these things sell at auctions and that, they hardly bring anything. So if you know what you're looking at, you can probably get a bargain. All right, enough on that. So with this attachment here, I have the regular Quickway attachment and the Quickway power head with the hexagon connector on it, if you've ever seen or been familiar with that stuff. I don't like it done this kind of stuff because it doesn't have as much control. To me it spins too fast, and there just isn't the control or the feel. If you were doing hardened seats it wouldn't be any problem, but we've got some pretty old soft cast iron here. So we're going to do it this way. So I'm going to show you the one, then we'll speed up the process and finish them all out because they're all going to be the same, and then we'll go from there. All right, let's get you in a little closer, like that. All right, here we go. So you just slip that down over there, touch down. Now I'm going to be using a bouncing action. Some of these have springs inside. This spring has been missing as long as I've been alive, that actually you have to push against, but we're going to be holding up on it and then just touching. The reason it does that is so that it doesn't make a swirl mark all the way around. Okay, so here we go. So as you can see, we are using a light bouncing motion there. We're going to continue on. Now I am just barely touching that, and we are coming around pretty good. Okay, we've just about got it. A little less over here than over here. Screw it up just a little bit more. We're very close. And you see on the stone, you'll get the little black line of where you're touching. All right, that one looks pretty good. So we're going to do the same process all the way through. We'll speed it up as we move along. Okay, now that we have done all of them, of course these two have already been done by hand, lapped in. We're just going around checking to make sure. And as war as these were, you're going to have some places where it's a little wider on one side than the other. But the whole thing is, the narrowest part of it needs to be wide enough, you know, for a surface. Looks, you know, 1/8 of an inch approximately. But these here, I'm just physically moving my head, following the shine of the light. And those all look good. So next thing to do, you see we blew the dust out of there. Can you see the shine in the camera? Probably. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to reset here, and we're going to drop the valves in and hand lap them. All right, we'll be right back. Now that we've got the seats ground, we need to hand lap these valves in. These are our new 1/64 oversized valve, or 0.327. As you can see, they come pre-ground, real nice and shiny, really nice job. So what we're going to do, I have just a suction cup with 2 different sizes on the end for valve lapping. You can get those at any parts store, not expensive. Then I have some Permatex Rebuilder's Aid valve grinding compound, number 800-37 What I like to do, I'll set the cap there, is take the valve, just put a little bit all the way around. You don't have to squeeze hard, okay? It's kind of like toothpaste with grit in it. So we just want a little coating on the valve like that. Drop it in the hole, push it down. We'll put the lid back on this. We're going to clean the suction cup. Get it pretty close to the center. And we're going to do that. Now you see, as I work down the wood, I am pushing down, okay? And pick it up. Can you hear as I go, it gets quieter. Some of that is because the finish is smoothing up. Some is we're wearing out the compound. So if you pick the valve up, turn it, set it back down, you'll notice it gets quiet again. And the suction cup's going to come off. You need to wipe the top of the valve off here. And the cup. All right. So you just keep do. Stick the suction cup on there. And what we're doing is just fine-tuning the two surfaces. People used to just do the valves this way, and it would take forever. But if that's all you had and it did it, it worked. But see, as I'm pushing that, rolling it, I'm pushing down ever so slightly. And then every once in a while I pick it up so that we're getting fresh compound. But you hear how quiet that got? Okay, I think it's a good time just to take a look at it. So let's push that out of there. Paper towel. Wipe it off. Wipe the seat out. So what this does, it'll take away that shiny finish. We're going to look in the light here. And we'll look at the seat. So what we want to see is that dull gray finish all the way around, okay? On the valve. Come on, focus in here. I don't know if it will or not. You see there's still a little shiny ring around there. That's just because the seat is not as wide as the valve. And that little bit that's on there won't hurt a thing. But around the sealing surface, we've got gray just about all the way around. The seat is gray all the way around already. But I would like to do just a little bit more. So we'll take some fresh compound. Drop her in the hole like that. There we go. Let's take it out again. Clean it off. Let's see if that looks better. Of course, the valves are a little harder than the seat. So it's going to take a little longer to get the valve to have that nice gray surface. And unless you make the seat wider, you're not going to get all the way down that valve surface. There's a pretty good shot. You can see it's nice and dull and gray all the way around. And the seat looks exactly the same. So we're going to call that one done. Now we're going to leave that valve in that hole, okay? So I'm going to do the other 5 of these, and we'll speed up the process because you'll get the idea and you'll probably get tired of watching it. But anyway, it's a necessary evil on a low compression engine. All right, I hope you enjoy. All right, folks, we're back. All right, that did take some time, and I definitely got my arm workout for today. But on each one, we achieved the nice satin gray finish all the way around. Same way on the valve. Sometimes on the valve, on the inner edge, you'll have just a little shiny ring, and you won't get rid of that. But from the towards the outer edge, it's good to not have much at all. Okay. So, but like I say, you could be here for 4 days if the inner edge of the valve has shiny on it, and still not get rid of it, because it actually goes past the seat a little bit. So what you want is from there out to be satin finished gray, kind of a flat cast gray, and they should be good to go. One important thing, each one of these valves now has a permanent home. Okay, they are fit to each seat, and they are fit to each other. That's why we do this. So, because we will be taking these back out to final clean, we need to number them. Yep, I used to have a yardstick with holes drilled in it. I used to have an actual one that held valves too. You can use a cardboard box, and I'm probably still going to poke holes in a cardboard box, but I want to write on the valves. In case the phone rings, somebody walks in, whatever, you get distracted. So, it's pretty easy to do. This ends 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of course, number 8 is a different size, so we could get away with that one. So what we're going to do next is we're going to clean up the valves, make sure all the grit is gone. We're going to take a brush and some brake cleaner, clean out the guides. We're also going to clean out the lifter holes and the lifter bores. We're going to blow them out really nice. And then we're going to flip this engine upside down, and we're actually going to start putting parts in it. Hey, I think we're done breaking things. It's awesome. Because we have to put the lifters in, put the cam in. We're not going to put the valve springs in, but we're going to get the lifters, the cam, and then we're going to work on setting the valves. We did buy adjustable lifters, but we're probably going to have to take some off each valve stem anyway. This one down here, number 8, that we had to go so deep with, we're going to have to take quite a bit off that stem. But we'll figure that out as we go. So stay tuned. We'll do a little cleanup here, and we actually start to get putting new parts in permanently. What a deal. All right, thanks for hanging in there. Sorry this is taking so long, but you put this much effort into it, you might as well do it right. All right, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit that bell. That way you'll know eventually this thing runs.